If you want to send your enemies a message, then do it in the form of a deadly exploding fish. What's up, YouTube? Zero here, and today I have a legendary gun review of the message in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Now in this video, I'll go through the overview of the message that I'm utilizing in this video. Then I'll get into some more gameplay. I'll go through the benefits, perks, and drawbacks of utilizing the message. Then I'll get into where you can go to grind for the message if you're curious about getting this legendary pistol. Then at the end of the video, I'll get into fate or hate. Is the message fated to be in the Fate Maker's inventory, or are you going to hate it and should you trash it immediately? Before I get into the overview, I do want to say if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Tiny Tina's Wonderlands content. Do a bunch of other RPGs, so feel free to check those out as well. It does really help out me and my channel. Thank you so much in advance for doing so. Without further ado, let's talk about the message. So I have the Packleader's message of Blastoff. This is a Torg legendary. The damage is 1834. The accuracy is at 73%. Handling is at 60%. Reload times of 1.5 seconds, which is important because the magazine size is only at 1. The fire rate's at 1.68. And this deals poison damage for 1829 with a 25% chance. Of course, this is a message firing fish, so sleep with the fishes. This is enchanted after reloading, gain 50% companion critical hit chance, and companions regenerate 8% of their maximum health per second for 5 seconds. This is plus 82% gun damage, plus 33% reload speed, an area damage of 307 radius, 69% projectile speed, and of course being poison, it is highly effective against armor. Let's talk about this being enchanted with the Packleader's enchantment to start off the video. So every reload, this significantly helps out your companion. So if you have a companion build, then the Packleader's enchantment, allowing your companions to deal extra damage and also increasing their healing rate, is extremely nice because you reload after every shot. So if you do get the Packleader's enchantment on the message, I would recommend, if you have a companion build, to keep it because that's really nice to have. Of course, I'm using a Spore Warden, so I have my Mushroom Companion. So having that Packleader enchantment is amazing with reloading after every shot. A great aspect of this gun is dealing damage to hordes of enemies. You shoot one fish out after you get your initial hit. It explodes into more fish, dealing poison damage in a radius. So hordes of enemies, especially when you're on the higher chaos runs, this gun is going to be great for to deal significant amount of damage to hordes of enemies. Honestly, a lot of times when I'm using the messenger, I don't even aim at enemies. I just fire the fish into a crowd and let the fish constantly explode in an area, dealing massive amounts of damage to the hordes of enemies in my chaos run. So it's absolutely awesome for hordes of enemies. You don't even have to worry about aiming, which is another great aspect of the message. Now, the message only comes in poison type damage, so you're only going to get messages in poison type damage, which isn't bad because poison is very useful against a lot of enemies, especially enemies with armor type health bars. On top of that, the message can be very dangerous. This is going to be the biggest drawback of the gun, is that the explosive damage from the fish that the message deals out can actually deal damage to the Fate Maker. If you're firing the message in close quarters combat, you want to be very careful, because I found myself actually putting myself into save your soul numerous times by firing in close quarter and my exploding fish dealing damage to me. So that is a huge drawback of the message. Despite the fact that it can deal tons of damages to hordes of enemies, it can also deal tons of damage to the Fate Maker as well. Now, if you are looking to grind for the message, it's actually a world drop. I got it on a chaos run, or more specifically at the end of a chaos run from the chaos rewards chamber. But it is a world drop only, so you can grind the chaos chamber or just travel through the world of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and you'll have a chance of getting the message. So now that I've gone through the perks and drawbacks of utilizing the message, let's get into Fate or Hate. Is this gun fated to be in the Fate Maker's inventory, or are you going to hate it and should you trash it immediately? The message is absolutely fantastic to deal damage to hordes of enemies. While it is only one shot, the exploding fishes that deal a plethora of damage in a huge area can easily take out hordes of enemies, dealing massive amounts of damage to them. While the message isn't the best type of gun for bosses because it's more focused on dealing damage to hordes of enemies, it can still dole out a bunch of damage to bosses as well. While it can also hurt the Fate Maker and did put me down into Save Your Soul several times, it's worth the risk, especially if you're a medium range combat type of player. You're going to love this gun, so I'm going to Fate this in my inventory. I loved sending my message out to my enemies in the form of an exploding fish, and you will as well. But have you utilized this gun, and if you have, do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, peace.